So the March numbers just dropped for Windsor-Essex County, and honestly, they tell a pretty interesting story. Sales were nearly identical to this time last year, listings are up significantly, and prices have pulled back from where they were in 2025. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or you just want to know what is going on in our own backyard, I am going to break down all of this for you in plain language right now. Stick around because the price range breakdown near the end of this video is something every buyer and seller in this market needs to see. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Kris Ramotar, a local full-time realtor with Remax Capital Diamond Realty here in Lakeshore, serving Windsor-Essex County. I've been working in the Windsor-Essex market for over 9 years, and every single month I go through the official Windsor-Essex County Association Realtor stats, so you do not have to. My goal with these videos is simple: give you the real numbers, explain what they actually mean, and help you make a more informed decision when the time comes to make a move. Let us get into it. Alright, so let's start with the overall market activity for March 2026. New listings came in at 939 homes for the month, compared to that to 1,043 new listings in March 2025, so we're down about 10% year over year. Now, that might sound like a slowdown in supply, but here's the thing: we had 1,689 homes available for sale on the MLS at the time this report was released. That is a healthy level of inventory and is giving buyers options they simply did not have a few years ago. Year to date through the end of March, we had seen 2,516 total homes came to market compared to 2,616 homes at this time in 2025. So we're down about 3.8% on the year, but the gap is pretty narrow, all things considered. What does this mean for you as a family thinking of selling your home? It means the days of throwing a sign in the yard and getting 5 offers by the weekend are largely behind us right now. Presentation, pricing, and strategy matters more than ever. And what does it mean if you're a buyer in today's market? You have more choices, more time to think. This is a good thing. Now let's talk about the actual sales. How many homes have changed hands in March of this year? There were 352 homes that were sold in Windsor-Essex County in March 2026. For context, there were 361 homes sold in March of last year. This is a decline of about 2.5%, which honestly is pretty minor. What I find encouraging here is that March bounced back meaningfully from February. We went from 237 sales in February to 352 sales in March, which is a jump of 150 homes in a single month. That tells me buyer activity picked up as the weather started turning and spring inventory came online. Year to date, we're sitting at 895 homes that were sold at the end of March compared to 959 homes at the same time last year. So we're down about 6.7%. Again, not alarming, but it does confirm that buyers are being a bit more cautious and deliberate compared to where we were in 2025 of March last year. Okay, so this is the part most of you care about. What happened to home prices? The average sale price in March 2026 came in at just over $539,000. In March 2025, the average sale price was almost $581,000. So we're looking at about a drop of about 7.16% year over year. Now, I want to be careful here because average prices can be very misleading. They move up and down based upon a mix of what's sold in any given month. If more low price condos and townhouses sell compared to single family homes, the average sale is going to look even lower if nothing fundamentally changed. But for here, what we're talking about actually residential sales. I did not factor into condos unless it's listed as a condo townhome, but mostly these are homes. The median price in March 2025 was $485,000. That's down from about $520,000 in March of last year. That is just over 6.7% decrease year over year. Year to date, the average price is almost $539,000 compared to just over $572,000 at the same time in last year, March, a difference of about 5.85%. So here's my honest takeaway: price have softened. Some of you would say it is a crash, while others say it is a correction. We went through a period where values were pushed up quite aggressively, and now the market is finding a more natural balance. For families looking to buy, this is real purchasing power compared to where things were at the peak of the market. For sellers, it means your pricing strategy is going to need to be grounded in what the data is actually saying today and not where your neighbor home sold 2 years ago or 6 months ago. Things are changing pretty quickly. This is where it gets really useful, and most people never look at this chart. In March 2026, the two strongest price range in this market were between $420,000 to $549,000, with 87 sales, and $550,000 to almost $700,000 with 89 sales. Together, these two brackets accounted for more than half of everything sold in Windsor-Essex County in March 2026. If your home is priced in between $420,000 to $700,000 price range, you're sitting in the most active segment of the market. This is where buyers are focused, this is where competition still exists, and this is where you have the best chance of a clean, timely sale if you're priced and presented correctly. Above $700,000, activity drops off noticeably. There were only 13 sales between $700,000 and $750,000, and the numbers continue to thin out from there on. That does not mean luxury homes are not selling. It just means that you need to be realistic about the timelines and the negotiating environment in that price range. On the lower end of the spectrum, activity under $300,000 was minimal, which reflects the reality of what is actually available to purchase in this region at this price point. Really, you can't find a home under $300,000. It's kind of tough. Mind you, some homes are there and it's $300,000 and buyers are very picky. I have a listing I can't sell right now. Great location, turnkey, move-in ready, perfect for a first-time home buyer, and it's just sitting on the market. We got an offer and it was $285,000. We wanted like $5,000 more than that. The buyer and the agent pretty much couldn't come to terms with us, so we're looking for something close to where we want for my client to make it work. So pulling this all together, here is the honest picture of where Windsor-Essex County sits in April 2026. We're in a balanced market with a lean towards a buyer's market. Inventory is elevated, sales are slightly down year over year, and prices have come back from their highs. That combination gives buyers real negotiating room, more time to do their due diligence, and more choices than this market has offered in several years. For sellers, this does not mean it's a bad time to sell. Homes are still selling. 352 homes sold last month, but the sellers who are winning right now are the ones who are realistic with their price from day one, invested in how their home shows, and work with someone who actually understands how to position the property in this environment. And one more thing worth mentioning, if you're buying a newly built home right now, Ontario has temporarily removed the HST on new home purchases until the end of March 2027. Depending on the price of the home, this could present tens of thousands of dollars in saving. I have a full video breaking down that program down if you want to understand how it actually works, whether you qualify or not. So what we're going to talk about right now is what I'm seeing with my buyer families that I'm helping buy a home in Windsor-Essex County. And I'm going to share personal stories without giving you all the details about the information about my families I'm helping, names, etc. But I just helped a family that's coming back after 20 plus years from out of town back to the street they actually grew up on. And we put an offer on a home that was listed just under $650,000. It was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, older home, but it was turnkey, move-in ready, nicely renovated. The roof was newer, furnace AC was newer. It's a huge lot, 75 feet frontage with the depth of about 200 plus feet. Great location in Tecumseh. And in our scenario here, we are in multiple offers. Negotiation was back and forth for hours. So gone are the days where you know instantly if your offer were accepted. We were in competition and we negotiated back and forth from pretty much for like 4 hours. We started building a report prior to the offer. I feel in today's market and in our market, if you have a good rapport with an agent, it makes a huge difference, especially when you pick up the phone and you have a conversation. There's a lot of agents who are keyboard warriors that hide behind the keyboard. When you call them, they never answer the phone, they will text you, they're busy. And there's a lot of them out there that look great on social media and they suck at their job. So make sure if you are hiring an agent, make sure that agent communicate with you effectively and talk to the past client if possible. Go on their Google reviews and say, hey, can I get some reference from some of your clients? And that way you know what you're getting into. And if you call them and text them and they're not getting back to you, that's an indication of what to expect. And especially if they're working for you and they don't pick up the phone during an offer negotiation and they can't represent you, that's horrible. And I've seen it with my own eyes with agents that trying to put a deal together. And I'm venting out because you as a buyer or a family looking to buy or sell a home, you need somebody that's working in your corner, working for you, and not playing these stupid games they can't get on the phone with the next agent on the next side to try to make it work for you. And that's a lot of ego, and that they feel they're better than you or your agent or the next agent they're working with. I feel sometimes ego needs to be put aside, especially when you're dealing with families' most largest financial decision, emotional decision, and most stressful decision. That's the time when you have an agent that's gonna work their ass off for you and work for you. So be very careful of that. There's a lot of agent comes across on social media. They're like so great, but in reality, they suck at the job. Okay, ask them how many families they've helped in the last year, how many families they've helped in their career, and that's an indication of how good they're at what they do. Okay, brand does matter too, in my opinion. So, all right, so going back, my rant's over. Going back to what we've seen for my client, our offer was accepted. We did a pre-inspection beforehand, so we know we were getting into it. We know the home was going to have more than one offers because it's in a great Tecumseh location. It was turnkey move-in ready and was priced right, and it shows well. And why I believe this, there's not a lot of good quality homes on the market right now. So we knew when a home came on the market, we have to act fast. The financing condition, we put that in there to protect my client, they're first-time home buyers. We want to make sure they're protected, they feel comfortable. I will never tell you to waive any conditions at all until we do our due diligence. And if you say, Kris, we're good to go, and we make sure we have proof, something in writing from the lender, and we did a home inspection beforehand so we know what we're getting into, I feel comfortable, I would say, okay, fine, yes, let's do it. But if there's any doubt and you're not in love with the property and you're like, oh, I'm not sure, then I would say just don't put an offer in if you don't love the home. Why are you writing an offer if you don't love the home? In this case, they love the home, you grew up on the street, they're coming back home, and I felt excited. Our offer is accepted after back and forth for a while. But the negotiation and the rapport building was great because I knew this agent from before. We did deals before, and being transparent and working for your client's best interest is very important to this market. So what I'm summarizing here is the homes that are in good location, that is turnkey move-in ready, that shows well, look good, smell good, and solid, and is priced well, will sell. We will have more than one offers. Now, the home that they're not selling is because, first, there's a lot of factors. Price is probably too high. Conditions may not be great. Location, well, we can't change location. Price fixes everything. So that's what we're seeing with a home that is sitting in the market for a while. Some of them are sitting because the sellers are unrealistic. Maybe the homes are not in a good condition and they needed some touch-up and repair. Remember, right now buyers have the upper hand because we're more headed in towards from a balance to a buyer's market. But the key is we don't have a lot of good quality homes. Hence, the homes that are really nice, turnkey move ready, gonna have competition. There's a lot of families looking for that particular home. I'm hoping as the warm months come, we're gonna have more homes available on the market for the families that are looking for these types of home. I have 2 families that are looking for such a home for months and we can't get them. But here's another key. If you're a buyer or a family looking for a home and you know what you want and you find that home, I say jump on it. Because I've had families where they hee-haw and they drag their feet, and then a year ago, now they bought a home, not with me, but it took them a while. But were they serious? I don't know, but the situation changed financially. Now, I'm not for everyone and you might not be for everyone. You just gotta make sure you connect with your agent. You have a right fit with that agent and you feel that that's the agent who's gonna represent you based upon that connection and their solid, proven track record. They must be local, and look at their reviews, look at their online presence, and you will get a feel to what to expect. So that's what to expect as a buyer into this market. Now, if you're a family looking to sell your home, here's what I would recommend based on today's market. First, make sure you do a research on the agent you're looking to work with. look at their reviews. Word of mouth is great as well. Talk to friends and family. They may know someone or a team that have helped them in the past that are great. Make sure you interview at least 3 agents. Make sure they're local. Make sure they have a proven track record, and communication is the key. Make sure they show you what they're gonna do, not just tell you. If they don't have a system to show you how they're gonna implement everything from day one, from when you meet and make recommendation and keep track of everything and communicate with you effectively, probably that's not an agent for you or to help you and your family. That's just my honest thought based upon years of experience. And make sure they're honest, because the data doesn't lie. Let us show you what's happening in the market. Let it compare homes that are similar to yours, homes that have expired in the past, that have canceled and relisted. That would be an indication as to what's happening in today's market based upon homes that are similar to yours, and that way you will be realistic with your pricing terms. Okay, now if the data suggests one thing and they're telling you that, hey, based upon what you want for your home, for example, I'm in Combo right now and I'm at an open house and this home is listed at $650,000. This is just an example. And that agent comes in and said, hey man, I could get you $700,000 for the home. And you're thinking, yeah, I could get $700,000, but the data is telling you $650,000 based upon the past solds or expired or canceled listings. Then you're like, hold on a sec, I want 7, he's telling me 7. The numbers are telling me, the data is telling me something different. Go with the data. So the agent that comes in and say, hey, you know what? It's a buyer's market. It may take some time, 60 to 90 days to sell your home. You may get lucky and sell it in a couple of weeks. That's the agent you probably want to work with, because right now you got to be patient. Homes are taking longer to sell. You know, there's a lot of dynamics going on in the world, a lot of variables. Mortgage rate has gone up. We have a war happening. You have the tariffs still uncertain as to what's going to happen there. So those are the factors. So buyers are very cautious. They have time on their hand. They have options and choices. Make sure your home shows well. Do any needed paint and touch-ups, and as well as turnkey move-in ready condition. Those are my recommendation. Price your home well. Make sure you hire an agent that's going to market your home well and be honest with you and keep you updated through the whole process. They don't just want to tell you what you want to hear. If you do that, most likely you will get the price and terms that you want into this market. Okay, and I always say, if you don't have to sell, don't sell. If you have to upgrade your home in a nicer way to make it nicer, take some equity if you have equity and fix it, make it more homely. I mean, unless your family are growing and you need a big home, great. If you bought your home pre-21, 22, you probably have a lot of equity. So now is a good time to upsize. If you had bought your home before the peak of the market, you probably have a lot of equity. So you could make that transition easy. But homes are taking longer to sell. There's no ifs or buts. You might get lucky. You might be one of the unicorns home out there, but it's far and few between. So that's what I'm finding in the market right now for most of my family who are selling their home. This is it for March 2026 market recap. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe, because I put out these market updates every single month along with other content specifically built for families who are looking to buy and sell right here in Lakeshore, Windsor, Tecumseh, LaSalle, Amherstburg, Kingsville, Leamington, and across Windsor-Essex County. And if you're thinking about making a move this spring and you want to sit down and talk through what this market means for you and your specific situation, you can book a call with me directly. The link is in the description below. No pressure, no sales pitch, just a straightforward conversation about where you are at, whether it makes sense for you and your family to move forward. I am Kris Ramotar with Remax Capital Diamond Realty. Local knowledge, honest advice, real result, and I will see you in the next one. All right, take care. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Have a great month and season. Bye now.